to know enough. Too old to play the part, too cool for showing up. Too dumb to say what's smart, so I'm a substitute waiting for the game to start. But I ain't trying to get played like change your heart. And may I park and find me another ride. I'm letting Florence tell you how I feel inside.
So I'm trying a new spot in my shop to shoot some videos from, but I feel like maybe I'm too relaxed. I feel like I need to be in my PJs or something. But anyways, it's gonna see what you guys think about this background. It's a little different. Not that it matters. It really doesn't matter. It's not like I'm getting a ton of views on these videos anyway. Um, so yeah, you know how we do here. Completely off the cuff. This is unscripted, and hence the name of the channel, Off the Cuff. So I wanted to tell you about a story that happened in the how about around 2007. So I am a sophomore in college, and I had this teacher who, I forget his name, but it was English Lit is what it was. And when I say his tests were difficult, I mean they were like basically insane. Like you had like 80 questions per test, and this is not just like a standardized test, or a, end of the semester test. This is like every test is like 80 questions, and it's over like the Iliad and the Odyssey and stuff I'm never going to use ever. Like, I woke up this morning, still had no discussions with anybody about Homer and what happened. So, anyways, um, I was playing basketball at the time, and I get back from a trip, a game. It was an away game, and we had a test like the next day, or it was like Monday, and I knew that there was no way that I was going to pass the test. It was just impossible because you had to read basically the whole Iliad and the Odyssey, or whatever he had told us to read, and those things were usually like 800 pages, or it felt like it. Could have been 20, probably wasn't, but it was just impossible for even anyone who read the actual material to. It was hard for them. So we get back from a game, it's like midnight or later, and me and my buddies decide that, or me and one of my friends, who I will not name, even though the statute of limitations is probably gone with this story. But anyways, I don't know if he wants me to name his name. But anyways, we decide that we're going to get this test. And what I mean by when I say we're going to get this test is that we're going to break into the administration building and physically take the test, and then go from there. And this sounds crazy because it is crazy. Looking back, thinking about it, like this is crazy talk. We're gonna do what? But at the time, we knew, and I knew, that there was no alarm setting. There was nothing was going to go off or anything. So I get a hanger, right, and from the back of my truck, and I bent the hanger in half. And to get into the administration building, obviously it's locked. It's the middle of the night. But you know how like a gym door, you push to go out, and the lever sort of unlocks it from, like, you can go outside from the inside, but you can't come back in because it's locked. Well, there's a crack in the two doors where they meet, so I slide the hanger in, turn it to the side, and I hook where you push out and pull it, and so we're in. We've just missioned impossible our way in. So when we get in, we're in. We're in the administration building. Okay, we've broken the law. We have decided at that point that we're going to go to his room, But the door's locked. Obviously, he's going to lock the door. It's his office, and we're trying everything. Like I'm trying to get the credit card out where you slide it, and maybe you can get in that way. And I've got the hanger back out that we used to get into the administration building, trying to wiggle, our way into his office, and that like nothing's working. And we already exhausted our resources at this point. It's like the 30 minutes. Like but we don't want to give up because we're there. We've made it this. We're at the bank vault. We just have to find out the code to get into the vault type thing. So I start trying my keys. I'm like, maybe for some reason one of my keys is gonna work. So I try my keys. Nothing's working. He's trying his keys, and he gets down to the last key. And when I say this is like, I feel like sometimes I'm in a simulation, or like something, like I'm in the Truman Show, or something's going on it shouldn't be real. Like this is one of those moments, right? So he gets down to his last key. We know this is it. There is no turning back. Like we can't get in. This is our final reckoning. This is like, if this key doesn't work, we're going to go back and we're going to fail the test. He puts his key in, and I kid you not, he starts turning it, and the bank vault swings open. We have just cracked the code, if you will. So somehow his dorm room key, which is the last key that he has on his keychain, we've already tried my keys. We've tried all his keys. This is the last key. We get in. If this is not divine intervention, I don't know what I don't know what is. I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying like this shouldn't be real. This is real. And so we get in, we turn the lights on, we look for the test. He's already printed out multiple tests, so we just snag one and we bounce out, we lock everything up. And then we get back to the dorm, and someone has, well, let me just pause for a minute. We fill out the test, and then you do your own method of cheating, however you want to do it. Maybe you take a little sheet of paper, or you figure out a way to cheat. Well, we start passing these tests, and the other basketball players on the team are obviously not passing these tests. They're failing the test because the tests are like 80 questions. And they somehow find out. They're like, how are you guys doing this? So we tell them. Obviously, they're not going to tell. They're in on the game, right? If you tell on one, everybody's going to snitch. So from then on, every test we take in that class that we have to take, we would get the test. We would come back to the dorms, and then each dorm room would get a sheet of these tests, and we would all fill out our answers. We would come in, we would reconvene in a specific room, and then we would, are you done with that one? Okay, let me write down the answer. Okay, switch, and then we would write down the answers, on a little cheat sheet or however you wanted to do it. But yeah, and the key to doing this is to never make 100. Like that's obvious, right? Like you want to make an 80, you want to make a 76 or something every once in a while. You want to make a 95. Maybe you really studied and acted like you did. So this happened the entire semester, and that's how I passed English Lit, World Lit, whatever it was called, in roughly 2007 of my sophomore year of college. I don't suggest you do this. Looking back, could have been arrested, multiple things could have happened, but it worked out. It worked out. So, anyways, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you like this video, please subscribe. Give me a like. If you didn't like this video, well, maybe you'll like the next one.